YouTube, welcome back. Today on Kung Fu Science, I've got my student Narek with me. We're going to talk to you guys about how many punches are in Wing Chun. This is part 2 of a two-part video. For now, if people, want more on it, I would definitely do a part 3. But anyway, last time I did a video on how many punches there were. I just kind of talked about the different punches and kind of demonstrated a few of them just in the air. And I actually missed a couple because there's quite a few. And I might have even missed a couple this time. But basically this time I'm going to go over them all a little more in detail and show a few applications to them. So without further ado, enjoy the video. Okay, the different punches. Right, we've got your straight punch. Right, straight punch can be done. If he's giving me a straight punch, I can use it. Oh, whatever. Use it as a wedge. Pow, just like this. Yes. Yes, the punch comes in. Bam. And a good way to demonstrate this. Actually, no. Let's do it again. Okay. Now, if I end up on the outside to outside, I can just literally straighten my arm out. It doesn't have to be bent at all. I can just literally straighten it out, just like this. Use it as a wedge. Right. Bam. Right, and then I got something else. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, give me the other side. So you see it. Bam. Right, aim at my face with it. Bam. And it wedges it right off the side. Okay? Now if I end up on the inside of his arm, punch me again to this side. If I end up on the inside and I straighten it out, chances are we're both going to hit each other. Right? If I'm lucky. So all I do is flare my elbow out like this when I punch. Right? Do it again. Right, now my shape of my arm deflects his. And if his arm is longer than mine, or mildly curved when he does it, I just have to make it go higher and bend more. Right? I'm going to have my second hand just in case. But being on the inside is dangerous anyway. So when we do this, I want to have both hands engaged, just in case something happens with his other hand. Right? Okay? So that is flare out, straight punch, and then lock out, straight punch. We also have low elbow, straight punch. That is if his punch comes in, I end up on the outside. Go ahead. If I end up on, go ahead. If I end up on the outside, I straighten out too. Again, chances are we're going to hit each other. So if I want to be on the outside, I just have to keep my elbow low, and it will defend the punch. All right, do a non-Wing Chun, please. Shoom. See, just like this. And of course, I'm going to have both hands engaged again. Fun. Okay. The way to demonstrate this concept, I guess, is you can have just a straight stick pointed at your face, right? And he wants to hold it still so you can reach out a little bit more and get up here and get a nice solid move on it, right? And it's aimed right here, right? A good way to demonstrate this for your students or to just better understand the concept is you just do the wedge and walk forward, right? You do your shape and walk forward. If it does not, and it may look like it's about to gouge me in the face, but look, it's not about to gouge me in the face. It just looks like it's right? Over here too. Right? Just lock it out, right?
We should do that with your back to it so they can see how far it goes away.
Right. I can also flare my elbow out a little bit. See that? And also, it's a little bit lower. I can use the low elbow. Look, it gets past my body every time. Yeah? So that's a good way to demonstrate that with a straight object, and you can really just feel it, test it, work it out.
Yeah.
Do it again. Okay? Cool. Back over. You can put that down now. Okay, so that's straight punches, and those are 3 variations of it. It all depends on where the elbow is, but the hand itself pretty much stays the same. Yeah? Okay. Next is the Phonum punches. I'm only going to barely talk about those. They come from the Phonum dowel lines, which I talked about in the other video. And there'll be a link to that at the end of this one. They come from the sides instead of the center, and they're whippy. Maybe you can hear it. Might be able to hear it, might not. So those are good for getting an angle on your attack instead of coming straight in. Right, if there's a punch coming in, I can use that punch again. Other side of me. I'll do this side first. Now do the other side. Right, punch himself. Punch himself. Right, so that from here then from over here, look, wham, right? I can use the Phonum as a way to wham, wham, smash his arms out of my way as I'm coming in, right? And I can totally do with both hands. I can also use them as an attack on his arms. Again, I don't have to use them to hit his head. I can use it to just bam, bam, to just get rid of his arms altogether. Strike my way in. Alright? Phonum has a whoop on the end of it. That whoop, that energy that explodes on the end doesn't hit the surface of the body, it goes inside. Right? So when you have that whip, you're not damaging the surface, you're damaging the inside. You have to fool around with that to better understand it. But he can tell if he gives me just a hard, solid surface to hit something on the arm. You can tell when I'm doing surface, right? You can tell when it's on the surface, right? And then you can tell when it's on the inside.
Oh.
You can feel the difference.
There's a difference.
Yeah, big difference, right?
It's like the equivalent of, let's say, getting slapped in the face and getting slapped inside the face.
It's like a beanbag almost, like a beanbag gun. The police use them. You hit somebody with them and they just knocks them straight out. They're not shooting you with a rock. That would kill you. They're shooting you with a beanbag, which goes inside, knocks you out. So that's the Phonum. Alright, we have Goon, which also comes from the side, but goes across. Right? And those, you see them all the time, but no one usually says what they're called. They just think they're straight punches. But it's more like he's giving me a punch, and he's caused me to go into a tonsal. This is the Phonum punch here. But the Goon comes from my ton. Bam! Right? It's when I'm at an angle and my body's turned when I do my punch. Right? I can turn back to the center, but it gives me the opportunity to punch at that sideways angle. Right? If you give me the other side, maybe I don't know. Boom. Right? Bam. So that's what Goon is. It's punching across and at an angle. Right? And the elbow is out on the Goon. The elbow is flared. So that if you punch the other hand, I can use it as a wedge. Right. Okay. Now we have a bunch more punches. We've got hooking punch. Okay. In the chum cue, you have a part that goes like this. All right. Where you shift side to side. Okay. Now, this is shifting your stance. This is also an elbow going this way, an elbow going backwards, and then it can also be a punch. All right. A hooking punch. Right. And in the bugey form, there's a part that goes fwum, fwum, fwah, right? That's a hooking punch. Okay? So if a punch comes in, I can lopsided his punch, boom, and hit him this way. Right? I can also, if I do it again, boom, I can come back with this one. Bam. Right? Hooking punch. So it comes off from the side, right? And I'm not doing this, right? Not a boxer hook. It's a body turn hook, right? So my body's involved in it a little differently than a boxer. Boxer's body's totally involved, but it's just a little different. And also you'll notice that if the punch is coming at me, when I turn like that and shift my whole body, it takes me offline from this punch. That was coming directly at my face. Go ahead. Right, that was at my face, yes? Boom.
That hit me in the face.
Bam. Right, and it can be done at the body, right? It can be done here. Right, boom. Okay, those are hooking punches. Now in the jump cue, we also have a part. Boom. Boom. Right, lifting punch. Yes? That's almost like an uppercut, but it has more of a, so it's more like a bolo punch. You see them in boxing where they go, and they do this kind of wind up a little bit first. That's called a bolo punch because there's this knife you use to chop various plants. It's called a bolo knife, right? And you swing it like this, right? We just do that with a punch, bolo punch, or a lifting punch in Wing Chun. All right, that's also done similar as the hooking punch as far as coming off the angle. If I do a lao sao, I can punch underneath, and then afterwards grab the arm, whatever I want. I can also cue it without a lao sao. I can just shoo, disappear, right? So you combine together with the hooking punch. Yes? Give me the other side. Right, it sneaks up under the arm. You can't see it coming either. Bam, there it is. Right, afterwards, I don't have to come off like a boxer would. I can stay a hold, right, and do it Wing Chun style for a while. Okay? Now we have Bong sao, right? On the end of the Bong sao, you can hide a punch. People are going to argue with me on that. That's what people do. Alright? Especially on this channel. Everybody likes to argue with me. Okay? So anyway, standard Wing Chun on Wing Chun, a good one to do, you see it all the time, is he pucks out this arm and comes in with a punch. Boom, right? And I do a nice little Quan Sao, yes? Okay? Let's do it on the other side. Pop on the inside. Boom, shoom. Right? You seen this before? Yeah? Well, I can also do it like so. Do it again. Boom, pam, and put a punch on the end. Right? We do it on the other side. Yeah, pop right here. Boom. Right? Punch low. Right? So it doesn't have to just be a deflector. It can be a deflector with a punch on the end. Yes, if he gives me a low elbow punch just to the gut with this other arm so they can see. Boom. I can use it to wedge the punch away. Right? Pam, and still spiral in with a nice gut punch. I can also use this punch to go over top of his punch and hit him, right? So I can't, if it comes to my face, I can't just stand still and do it because I'm going to get hit too. But if I do like in Jump Q where you go, right? You seen this before? Boom. There's my punch coming over top. And I can do whatever from there, of course. So let's do the other side real quick. Boom. Yeah. I can do it. A good one, a lot of people don't agree with me here either, but punching while going backwards, right? In Jump Q there's a part that goes, and you tilt your head back a little. Maybe some people don't do it, but a lot of lineages do this. If there's a punch coming in, I can tuck back and still use this spiral over top of his punch, right? You give me this side. Right, I can tilt back and use it to come over top. That's kind of nice too. Punching while going backwards. That's a great way to knock people out because they're committed to coming forward and you don't run into them, you make them walk into your hit. Pound. Yes? Okay. Now we have, what else is there? Double punches. Sometimes one's high, one's low. If he gives me a punch to the face, I can use it. One is a wedge, one is a body shot. Yes, if he gives me a shot to the gut, I can use one as a wedge to the punch down there, and a punch to the face. You can also do your double punches at pretty much the same place, where, I don't know, give me a punch or whatever. Pin, right, hit on the face. I can get the jaw and the temple at the same time. Or, a nice one is to do it like this, where they're right next to each other. This is both sides of the face. Wham! Right? So there's that. Those are double punches. I also have them on the same line like this. Where if he's got a structure, right, I can grab his structure, pull it down, then boom, deliver both to the gut. I'm doing both at the same time though. Maybe you can't see it in the video. Let's do it at a slight angle. No, I mean, yes. Where I grab both, pull them down, boom. Right. Okay. Those are double punches. Got, what else is there? Oh yeah, jumping punch, okay? Jumping punch comes low and then comes up high, and it's to push something out of the way, or it can be done in a couple different ways, but maybe against a low-high combo, right? He gives me a low punch, I gum sao it, he gives me a high, and I use the jumping punch to knock his punch out of the way. I can do it on the inside or outside. You just hold a punch up for me, so you can see it, right? See how his arm goes up? Right, so that's a jumping punch. It's down and up, right? So it could be, like I said, against a low-high combo, right? Or just coming from, like I'm already here and I just see the punch coming in, wham! I can just use it as a way to get rid of a punch coming in. Like my hands were low because maybe I was fighting another guy, his head's down here. I use the jump motion to deflect his punch coming in. And again, I want to have that elbow out kind of wedge shape, because you'll see how much I'm actually able, just hold it real solid, right? How much I'm able to send his arm flying, and it's not, I'm not punching him with my hand, right? I'm punching him with my forearm, right? In his arm, and my fist still has a chance to hit his face. How's that feel? Whew. Nasty, right?
All my tendons.
All the tendons.
All the tendons.
All the tendons, right? So that's that. Okay. Cutting punch. Okay, cutting punch. At the end of Jump Q, sometimes you do the jumping punch, right? Boom, boom, and then there's a punch that comes under here. And then you do 3 regular punches. The cutting punch is sort of like I'm outside, go ahead and punch. I end up outside, I can't reach him, so I come underneath. Bam, that's a cutting punch. Right, it's cutting through. Right, right? And that can be from outside to inside or inside to outside, right? Right? Or do it again. Oh, boom. See how it works anyway, right? Or, right, give me the other hand. Right, or, same hand. Right, and just use it to change angles, right? Comes underneath instead of over top. Those are cutting punches. Try not to miss any. The Phoenix eye punch is done with the tip like this, and I talk about that in my other videos that will be linked to the end, where you just have this knob here instead of like this, right? And that just adds a nice little PSI position that can be in dangerous places. And so that can just be on the end of any punch you do. You can do that on the end of your bunking, you can do that on the end of your straight punch, put it on the end of your jumping punch, cutting punch, whatever. It's just a nice little addition to have on the end. And the way you hold it is like so. Right? You don't want to have it just like this because then it's too loose. You don't want to have it too small because it's not really going to do anything. I press it right on the fingernail. And I have it, this part squeezed pretty good, but this part's still nice and loose. Right? That way it's basically solid as a rock. Ooh, that hurts my hand. Okay. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you would like to see some other particular kind of video, something I haven't discussed yet, please feel free to ask. I would love to get your feedback, and I enjoy making videos specifically for people when they have questions. So until next time, thank you for watching Kung Fu Science. What's in your Kung Fu? And now it is.